All right, all right, all right. Listen, we are live. It is that day and that amazing time again where we are here, Empower with Shronda, where we are empowering you mind, body, and spirit. And of course, all this season, we are talking about how you can be your own level up. Listen, we are already at episode 7, and my, can I say that time is flying? I hope that as we are on this journey, you guys are enjoying this trip because we're sharing with you exactly how you can go start your own business. But most importantly, be inspired, mind, body, and spirit, so that you can be 100% in place so that you can help yourself to be able to help other people. If you have not already done so, of course, there's a bunch of places that you want to be able to tap into so you can stay connected. I am your host, Shronda McDaniel. Of course, you can find me on Facebook. But listen, you want to tap into this series by following Droppin Knowledge Network. I tell you that we together are coming and we are giving away free information that can help you take your life to the next level, because we all know that knowledge is power. Well, we're going to move me out of the way because I'm excited about tonight's guest, because she is going to be talking about something that I hear all too often. Everybody who knows me knows that I do personal credit, but every person I talk to always says, how can I build business credit? Well, I've shown you how you can go start your business. I'm encouraging you, telling you you can go start your business. So, of course, it's only right that we bring someone to you directly that can show you how to get that business credit in order, because that is an absolute need. It is an absolute need, and we're going to be talking about that on tonight. I am extremely excited to have this young lady on the show, because when I talk about someone who is not well-rounded and multifaceted, very skillful and very knowledgeable on the subject, she is going to be able to give you all that you need to know and understand about business credit. She is Afua Jones, an author, entrepreneur, business credit consultant, and so much more. It is extremely hard to be able to sum her up right in just one slide. We are about to get this party started. I hope you guys are ready. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the show. Are you excited or what?
I am so excited. First of all, I have to give it back to you, Shronda. I have to. And Droppin Knowledge Network. I mean, what you guys are doing for the community, you are truly Proverbs 27:17, iron sharpening iron, encouraging one another, pouring back into your community, because when you win, we all win. And that's how we're going to get there together. I mean, it's just been exciting to be able to work with you in our industry. Just always been extremely professional, very much leading the way in all that you're doing. And I love your network that you surround yourself around. Just awesome. Always been an educator, especially in finances. And I'm just very proud to be a part of your circle. And so I thank you for having me.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that amazing, amazing love. I'm telling you, life is so about making connections, and this is a connection I'm extremely excited to be a part of, but most importantly, be able to give the community what it is that you offer. You're an extremely servant leader, helping other people change their lives. So I've given everybody a little bit of background about you. Of course, I can never do you a full justice. So I would like for you to tell the audience a little bit about you.
I sure will. And I thank you for the opportunity. And I'm definitely going to get into business credit, guys. I've got some bonuses and some juicy stuff for you. But let me tell you how all of this, really came to be. First of all, I absolutely love your concept about be your own level up. That's really, for me, that's my story, and that's how this all began. So I am an author. I am working on my 3rd book. We just actually wrapped up some editing. We just did the book cover, and it is a book about an hour-long conversation that I had with an ex-Klansman at the height of the Black Lives Matter revolution. So that is my 3rd book coming out. But my 1st book really speaks to your show about being your own level up. And yes, I have it here. It's in the background. It's to change the world, begin with yourself, and the companion journal. And the reason why that's important to me and why how this really all got started is because this book is about a change that I took on for myself. I used to weigh 392 pounds. I lost 192 pounds. And even though I lost 192 pounds, this book is actually not so much about my weight loss. I address it right away. We get into it. We get after it right away. But it's more about the change that happened to me in the process and how things really just began to open up. I was struggling with being an angry Black woman because I was dealing with depression, whether I wanted to realize that or not, because of, being morbidly obese and, all those other self-esteem issues that come with that. And so as I got real with myself and as I addressed it, and what I actually did was I went on a 30-day journal. And if anybody has been following me on Facebook for any length of time that I've, like from the very beginning that I've been on Facebook, you actually saw me go through it. I took my audience through a 30-day journal. This book is literally the result of it. I journaled myself for 30 straight days. I addressed some fears. I addressed some things, and that's that book. Okay. So aside from that, I am also a mentor through the Roby program, through Mayor Bowser out of DC. It's called Can I Live? And I'm an entrepreneurial mentor where I work with other entrepreneurs to help them step into entrepreneurship and just kind of be there for them to help them with that learning curve. And yes, as you said, business credit. Business credit is so important. We already know that, cash is king, but credit holds conversation. Well, it's the same with business credit. So we need to understand the difference, and we need to understand why we need to establish it. So really today, I wanted to kind of discuss with you guys the foundations of business credit, just give you some basic understanding why that's important. And why you want to start establishing it before you need it. And then, of course, we're going to share with you my ebook. I have a DIY business ebook that will help you walk through it. So you can take what you're going to learn today and kind of take that and get started with it. So let's really actually just talk about what is business credit. All right. And so business credit is the ability for a business to qualify for financing. Just pretty much in a nutshell, that's what it is. And the reason why you want to be in position to qualify for financing is because, number one, you want to separate your personal credit from your business credit. You want to be using other people's money. We hear all these different acronyms and all this business savvy stuff, OPM, but are we really doing that? So you want to get yourself in position. And in doing so, it allows your money to be a lot more fluid. It will allow you to be able to kind of to adjust and make some things and before the invoice comes due, and allow you to kind of move around with your business and level up, if you will. And so that's why you want to be using business credit. I'll give a really quick analogy. A lot of us, we're on Facebook. A lot of us may have a side hustle or a business on Facebook, and we want to do a Facebook ad campaign. We want to do some marketing. Well, if you had some business credit in place, that will put you in position to be able to do the marketing, have some time, that 30-day, that net 30 in between, allow some invoices to come in. It gives you that wiggle room. And so that's what we talk about when we talk about leveling up. You have a system in place. You need that cushion. You have that cushion now. Now you can execute. Okay. So, what you don't want to start off doing, and this is just a key term, is you don't want to start off being a personal guarantee. That's where they're using your personal credit to guarantee this debt for your business credit. You don't want to start off with that. So, business credit is in tiers, and your first tier, you really want to start off where the business credit, where you're not a guarantee. Okay, so again, business credit is more about getting your business in position to be able to qualify for financing. And then let's talk about who the three credit bureaus are as it pertains to business credit.
So I don't want you to move too fast, too quick, right? I want to make sure that they have caught all of it. So let's go back because I want to make sure we are breaking this down in segments for them so they understand and they're taking it all in. So you just talked about something. You talked about not wanting to be the personal guarantee. I know that oftentimes we're told that you start business credit by building your own personal credit. Can you talk about that? Talk about why that's the truth or not the truth, and why exactly you don't want to be a personal guarantee.
Yes, ma'am. So honestly, I always tell people that, with business credit, no, you don't need your personal credit to get started, but it is prudent because at some point you are going to need your personal credit to come into play. It is prudent to begin to work on your personal credit while you're working on your business credit. And you can definitely see Shronda about that. So please make sure you reach out to her for your personal credit. It is very important that you begin to work on it at the same time. Not necessary that you have it, but if you're planning on developing and leveling up with your business credit, you will need it at some point. But the reason that you don't want to, you want to keep it separate is because you don't want to be responsible for financing your business. You want to establish your own business profile, your own business credit profile, so that all of that money is being calculated. All of that money is being determined how you should use it, so you can be building your history, which will actually put you in position for even more money. But if you're only doing it with your personal credit will only go up to a certain amount. It's going to be contingent upon your debt to income ratio and other things. Business credit is not based off of that. Business credit, the cool thing about business credit is the sooner you pay your bill, the better it bodes for you. The more business credit you're actually going to be able to get. The biggest thing about business credit is paying it as quickly as possible and definitely paying it off. You don't want to be late. And then you want to keep building on it. And the more you use it, the more business credit you're actually going to get, which is not necessarily the same with your personal credit. So you definitely have to keep those two separate. And also because you don't want to be liable if someone wants to sue your business. Mm-hmm. So we'll get into some the foundations of setting up your business entity and setting everything up so that you're in position for business credit.
Okay.
And awesome. I'm happy to discuss that with you.
Okay. And we can definitely talk about that. I'm writing a little note so we don't forget to talk about that information. So I do have a question. I want to make sure so we are clear and we understand that your business credit is really based off of simply your payments. Are you making your payments and are you paying them on time? And that's what builds your business credit.
Yes. And and one aspect, yes. Now, of course, you want to make sure that the creditor or the vendor that you're using is reporting to the 3 business credit bureaus. Otherwise, unless you need to deal with them, you want to maximize who you're using. So you want to get the most bang for your buck. So the 3 business credit bureaus are Experian for Business, Equifax for Business, and Dun & Bradstreet. That's that Dun & Bradstreet Paydex scoring model that you really. Dun & Bradstreet is the big boy. That's the big boy. You need to make sure, and you can get a D&B number for free. But you need to be registered with them because they're going to be reporting how you're paying, and that's how you're going to be graded, and that's going to determine your financing. It's going to determine what you'll qualify for.
So I want to go backwards, right? Because a lot of us know about personal credit, and a lot of us know that we tell them personal credit actually has 5 components when we're talking about your calculation. Is that the same for business credit, or what are the differences?
No, it's not. And so, yes, I'm glad you brought that up. So again, for your personal credit, you definitely want to see Shronda for your personal credit. Please make sure you see her, because as you begin to understand your personal credit, it is going to play into your business credit. But again, with your business credit, it's more about when you open up your business banking account, that's actually when your business is established. So this is why you want to understand some of these things, and you want to get it started now so that by the time you need your business credit, it's in position for you, because it's going to take time. And let me just give a side note for both of our industries, for personal and business credit. We are in a worldwide pandemic. And as a result of this pandemic, the bureaus have been given an additional 60 days to respond to disputes. So the bureaus are private businesses. They're not a part of any government entity. That's whether you're talking about business credit or personal credit. So they are affected by the pandemic as well. So they are giving us extra time. So we have to be mindful. Credit repair or building business credit of yesterday is not the same today. It will take longer, just by the laws, just by they've been given additional time. So you definitely want to get about understanding the building blocks and getting some of the foundation in position so that you have it there when you need it. In fact, it's interesting. I was just talking to an audience on Saturday. We were going through some of the building blocks, and one of the guys said, "Oh, I have that." He didn't actually have everything kind of like in order, but he had something that he didn't know why he had it, but he had it. And so that actually helped put him in position to move actually that much closer to his next tier. So it was cool that he already had it, whether he completely understood it or not. It pushed him along now that he's where he's at with his business. So again, you want to at least understand the foundation, do the things that you can do that are cost effective, like your EIN number, that's free to get. And I can step into the 7 kind of basic things, or if you want me to talk about, the scoring, how your business credit is scored. But I personally think that you should understand the foundation a little bit more than that. But
all right, well, we are on the roll and we are talking about this business credit, right? We're talking about why we need to establish it and why it's important. So I think the next place to go, if we're not talking about 6 different components of it, but we are talking about the foundation. So what is the foundation of business credit?
So, get it established. Even if you don't know what you're going to do with it, get that EIN number. It is free, and you can amend any document. You want to get that timestamp. So if you've been thinking about having a business, you're not sure, whatever, just go ahead and go to irs.gov, fill out the information, and go ahead and get an EIN number. At least get it set up. It's free to do, and you can do that within 15 minutes. Once you have some type of idea and you're ready to move forward, you need to determine how you want your entity set up. LLC, S Corp, those kinds of things. You need to determine that, but you also need to set it up with your state corporation and whatever your locality, whatever they require for your state. That's going to be the second thing that you're gonna want to set up. You definitely want to. You have your EIN set up, you have your corporation set up. You definitely want to get an 800 number. You want to be, looking big. The perception is you want to have that big look. And you can do that right now where you're at with your, because you can have it forwarded to your cell phone number, and you can find something very economical for about $10 a month, something like that. But you do need to have this set up because they are going to check. So you want to have these things set up. When you get your website set up, right? Which you can, you guys know about, this is basic stuff. You guys know that you need to have a website now. And you know that you can get these things done very inexpensive. And when you get that domain set up, you need to have your email set up that way. You can't be using a Gmail or Yahoo or Hotmail or any of those kinds of things. It needs to be like your name at the domain. So like for me, my email is afua@jfsolutions-llc.com. Now I do have a Gmail, but that's my official business because it has my domain in it. So you want to have that. And then also you want to have a brick and mortar or business address. Now I understand we're not always in position to do that and all that other kind of stuff, but there's always more than one way to skin a cat. So let's skin this cat. So what I like to use is DaVinci. You can get a virtual business address. Now let me give you a tip about that some people won't tell you. And I used to use ipostal1.com, and that's fine. But if you want to kind of steer away from places like that, if you can, because that postal in the website and all of that, Some like Google ads or some web pages, it'll come up as a postal store. So, just to avoid that, I really like DaVinci. They're nationwide, and what's cool about them is they have all different type of plans. They can accept mail in for you. Oftentimes, they have like a notary as a part of the package. But here's one little tip that you want to keep in mind when you're looking for that address. As you're looking at the different options for the address in your area, actually take the different options and Google them and see what they look like. You want to make sure that you pick an address that's like affiliated with a major thoroughfare. You want it to look like a business. If the address that one of the options, if it gives you an option of an address that's like smack dab in the middle of a lot of businesses, yes, that's the one you want, because you want to be looking bigger. You don't want an address that's in the middle of just up the street from your house and you can tell there's a bunch of residential around there. So take a few minutes, do a little bit of research, look at the different options available, because it's just going to make you look that much bigger, right? So you want to have a brick and mortar address. You want to have that website set up, that appropriate domain. You want to have that 800 number. You want to get that business bank account set up, because technically that's when your business starts. When you have that, and of course we talked about getting the Dun & Bradstreet number. Get that Dun & Bradstreet, which is free. When you reach out to Dun & Bradstreet, yes, they have salespeople. Yes, they're going to take you through all this stuff that you can pay them to do this and set this stuff up. I'm telling you, you're going to spend hundreds of dollars that you don't need to spend. And that Dun & Bradstreet number is free to obtain. So go ahead and get that. Now, once you have all of that stuff, now you are actually ready to start applying for business credit. Okay. And business credit is in tiers, and you need to move through, it's 4 tiers, and you need to move through each tier successfully before you get to the next one. And it will take you 3 to 6 months potentially to move through each tier. The main point that you want to know, rather than trying to know exactly how long, this is the main thing that you need to know. You want to set up about 3 to 4 lines for each tier, and you want to have, anywhere from 4 to 6 months, 3 to 6 months of activity, positive activity, paying on time, doing all that stuff before you can move to that next tier. So that's just some basic stuff.
And thank you for that, right? A couple of times that you were sharing, you're like, this is all basic information, but literally for us tonight, this is business 101. So you've done an amazing job of breaking down what the steps are. I dropped it in the chat as well as you were going, and we'll tell people how they can get this information in just a moment. But for those of us who, don't know or don't understand, what tiers mean, can you tell us a little bit about what are tiers in your business credit, and what does it mean to move through them, and what are the differences between them?
Yes, ma'am. So tier 1, that's like your basic trade line, right? So that's going to be like your 30, your Granger, your Uline, Shell. Shell is great, Shell gas card. So you want to get, some basic credit lines that are not going to require that you become the personal guarantee. You want to get 3 or 4 of those cards and use them responsibly, like we've already discussed. Pay them ahead of time. I'll tell you one thing that we do with our Shell gas card. If I go fill my gas tank up today, I wait until tomorrow to see it post, and then the next day I just go pay it. Because it's just like as if I was using my debit card at the gas tank. It's no different. I'm just reallocating the money. I'm waiting 2 days to use that money. So I'm paying it right away. And that's just a small thing to do. I'm just showing you how you can do things without spending new money. This is the same money. You're still going to go fill up your gas tank. So it's just reallocating money to make that money work for you. So that's your basic, and it serves as a building block for establishing your business credit. So these are just companies that are granting business credit without any personal guarantee. That's just your basic. So you want to have like 3 or 4 lines of those. Do that for 3 or 4 months, and then you want to go ahead and go for like some advanced trades. And that's going to be your tier 2. So that's where you start going for, like, the credit cards and stuff like that. And at this point, companies will usually conduct a business credit check. So that's why you want to go ahead and have some things established. That first tier, you want to have things so they have something to actually check against before they will extend you credit. So that's only going to just play into how much more you're going to be able to get extended and the better terms, longer terms. So that's why you want to be responsible in that first tier and show that you can really do it. And then tier 3 is where you kind of get into business lending. Now, this is what's juicy about business credit, y'all. Business credit goes up to $250 million. That's why you want to be using other people's money and not yourself as a personal guarantee. That's why you want to set that business credit up right, so that you can be extended, as much as you can be extended to move your business. So that's why business credit is so important. But when you get into tier 3, you're getting into business lending. And you definitely need to have your financials in place. Your personal credit has to be in place. So you need to holler at your girl about your personal credit, because once you start going into tier 3, they're going to look at your personal credit. And I know you can help them with that. So you're going to be required to show your personal credit. They're going to look at your business credit. And that's pretty much it. It's going to be driven by your business credit history and your personal credit score.
Okay, so to make sure we are following and we understand perfectly, we're saying that at tier 1, this is where you are starting to go out. You're getting 3 to 4 credit cards, but these are some lenders or people who will give you credit cards that aren't really looking for business history. These are like our starter cards. And at tier 2, we start looking at bigger credit limits, but those are companies who are wanting to make sure you have some credit established first. And then
you also may even be able to get equipment once you get to that tier, depending on what your business is. That's where you can probably get equipment financing.
That's good. So at tier 2 is where you really want to live. If you're trying to get maybe lenders or vendors, if you have clothes who can give you clothes or equipment for your business, that is where tier 2 starts to happen. Okay, that makes sense. And this is where people are saying, do you pay your bills fair? Well, yeah, in tier 1, I was paying my credit card bills, so give me some stuff. And then tier 3, we're understanding that tier 3, when you say, this is where we're talking about lending, this is where we're talking about people giving us or lending us cash money to be able to go out and build a business, or whether we want to go actually get that brick and mortar or expand into other things, they're actually loaning us money to be able to do what we want to do our business. Did I get that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And tier 4, my love, that's when you're getting into investors. That's where you're getting into more sophisticated, where they want to see, a few years of your financial solid returns. That's where you're getting into capital venture, that kind of stuff. So that's definitely the big money.
Well, I told the people when we got started, you have a wealth of information. Listen, I don't even have to ask her questions because she is ready, prepared to give you guys all of this information. Listen, if you are here and you're listening on tonight, we're talking to Afua Jones. She is a author, a mother, an entrepreneur extraordinaire. And guess what? She is also a business credit consultant, and she can help you to get your business in order. She's here sharing with us free game and free information on exactly how you can start to build your business credit. If you're not already following this podcast, you want to make sure that you are, because you see the value that we're bringing to you. This is not just about telling you what you can do, but it is showing you exactly what you can do. Yeah. And those things are that makes a difference in where you are going. Listen, you're doing an absolute amazing job of sharing this information with us. Anytime you see me looking over here, it means I'm taking some notes. I'm learning. I want the people to learn, and I hope that they brought pen and piece of paper, because there is an aha awakening moment. So before we got started, someone actually sent me a question, and they wanted to know, does the authorized user or trade lines work the same with business if you're trying to build business credit? Does that exist in the business world?
Yes, but just like with personal credit, you want to use it strategically. So you
Mm-hmm.
want to go for your low hanging fruit, before you move into that, because you're going to be paying for a trade line,
Mm-hmm.
and trade lines fall off after a certain time. So you want to make sure you have all of your ducks in a row and that you're in position to do whatever it is that you need to do. That's the whole point of getting a trade. When you get into needing a trade, now you're ready to level up. You're saying, okay, I need to have this financing institution look at my deliverables a certain way because I need to qualify to be able to do that. And I plan on being able to deliver on that. So you need to make sure you're in position for what you're going to be asking for. Number one, that you're going to be able to deliver that, because let's be honest about what a trade is doing. A trade is, inflating this information and giving a perception. And that's fine. Look, that's fine. Just make sure you're able to deliver on that. So you want to work through all of those things first. But yes, to answer your question, yes.
All right, that's awesome. I mean, it makes sense, right? It makes sense, but we're fluffing up some information. Be ready and prepared for it. So help the young lady. I mean, I hope the gentleman that reached out to us, he's out there listening, and if not, he can definitely catch it on the replay. For those of you who want to share this, we also have a podcast where you can listen to all of this information, and they are also uploaded into YouTube. Right, I'm getting all caught up in my words. You with this business credit has me over here like, whoo, I'm learning a lot of stuff. I'm nervous.
I love it.
This is absolutely amazing. We're learning a whole lot. So we've learned about who the three bureaus are. They're different when it comes to our business credit. We've learned about the tiers. You've broken that down. So what would you say is maybe an average timeline? You told us how long it takes to move from 1 to 2, but what would you say is an average timeline that people should expect to see themselves moving from one tier to the next, from 1 all the way up to 4?
Yeah, I mean, credit, building credit, whether it's business or personal, we all know it takes time because, so whether you have a thin business credit file or a great one, right? Let's say you have a really good one, but it's just it's not long, or you just have a thin one, not really all that great, just thin. Either way, you still have to prove, like, how are financing institutions going to determine your credit worthiness? The only way they're going to determine that is by looking at your credit scores, looking at your credit reports, whether it's your personal or your business. And so we know it takes 30 days to have something report activity. So again, if you're being consistent and you're doing everything every 30 days, and it's going to take 3 to 4 months, I would say 3 to 6 months on average to move through, but you can stay consistent. And I really want to just impress upon you guys, as much as I know how, to start with the foundations. Even if you don't know, you can always go back and amend the paperwork. You can when you get your EIN, if you want to go back and amend the address from your home address to your business, you can go back and do that. The biggest thing is you want to get that timestamp, just like with personal credit. You want to get it started. That's the biggest thing, to get it started, that date stamp, so that you can get in position for it. So you should really look for about a year. But you can be establishing and getting your business credit going while you're working on your personal credit. If you take the time, if you start today, this time next year, you'll really be in position. So it's just really about when you start and giving yourself time to make sure you strategically use that money right. How we were talking about with the gas, and giving it time to report. Remember, I said I waited a day to let it hit. Then I turn around and paid it right away and let that just wash out so that it gets reported, and I'm showing. And then the next time I want to put even more gas on it, if I can. I want to keep building it up.
Okay. And those are great tips. And it is also something I tell people who are trying to to build their own personal credit, right? And they're like, well, I don't really want to use credit cards. Listen, you got to use them, but be responsible. Pay for your groceries with it and pay it off. Pay for your gas. These are things that you're going to pay money for anyway. Use your credit cards to help you build credit, because we have to show people that we actually are responsible and can manage it. If we don't use the credit, then it's almost as if you don't have any credit. Earlier today, you shared something, but we kind of started talking about our tiers and all of that. But you shared with us that building your credit and doing, communicating with the bureaus, they have an additional 60 days. So is this 60 days on top of the 30 days that they already get, or we're saying they have 60 days total now to respond?
60 days total. I'm sorry, 60 days total. So they have 60 days total, but keep in mind, they're like 30 days behind receiving in certified mail. I mean, we all know that the Postal Service is having a delay right now, right? So they're already delayed. So credit repair during this pandemic is not the same. Building credit repair, credit period is not the same as it was before the pandemic. It's going to take time. And that's why, guys, it's just important for shows like this. It's important to be aware and to understand so that you can get yourself in position, or at least line yourself up and do some of the things that you need to do.
This has been again, I can't say it enough. This has been a powerful conversation, because you're showing us, I'm talking literally step 1, step 2, step 3. It is a huge conversation that we have. One of the things that we tell people often in our level up is go create a business, but there's things that go along with creating this business. And what I love about this conversation is you're saying, listen, you can go do all of this stuff, and you can do all of this stuff for free. Who knew when it comes to, I need to go and get a virtual physical address, and what it takes. So you have brought extreme value to us today, because I think that honestly, if I went out tomorrow and I said, let me go and find this physical address, I would probably just get the first thing. Well, what seems, but you told us that let's Google the address and see where it is. And so that is why I was really, really excited about talking to you today, because there's no question about whether you know the game, and your commitment to gaining this knowledge, not just for yourself, but for everybody else, makes you, an absolute value to you and everybody else around you as well. I want to be able to tell people, number one, how to get to you, because of course we can go out and there's ways for us to do and build our credit ourselves, our business credit ourselves. You have an ebook. Let's jump into and talk about the ebook. I have it up on the screen where they can find that ebook, but tell us a little bit about this ebook, exactly what it does and why they need to go check it out now.
So the ebook, I expand on the foundations even more. So like in the ebook, you're going to be able to find things like step by step, number one, like how you need to go register with Yellow Pages and Google and all of these different places that they're going to look later on to see if they're going to look for. So I kind of give you the step by step on going ahead and getting registered with the DMV website, just walking you through everything that shell. I give some bonuses of some credit cards to go ahead and start applying for, and some step-by-step. And of course, always, if you need help setting up an entity, if you need help setting any of this stuff up, we have staff available. And these are services that we do provide. Although we do share via our business ebook, our DIY ebook. And although we will gladly help you with those services. These are paid services, but we also do teach it. We also do share it if you want to go ahead and do it yourself. You just don't know what you don't know. And, being in the environment that we're in now, we know that nobody's going to hand us anything. We've got to get out. We've got to arm ourselves with the information and go get it. And you're going to find a lot of things, especially grant money and stuff like that. This is why you want to be in position are going to be underneath. Look at this. Everybody's calling it the stimulus package. It's not a stimulus package. It's a $1.9 trillion COVID relief package that stimulus is under. So you're going to find a lot of money under COVID. And remember, African Americans were really affected by COVID. So that's another criteria or category you want to be able to start looking for, but you want to be in position with your business credit. And by the way, I just want to throw this tidbit in there. And I know you've seen this in your personal business with people applying for the SBA loans. In case you didn't know, guys, they're pulling through Experian. And you want to have, and these numbers keep changing, by the way, but I know that they're looking for a 650. That number could have changed. And I know at the start of the pandemic, that wasn't the number. So you need to pay attention, but I just want to give you that little tidbit that they are pulling through Experian.
Okay. All right. That is, again, more value on top of value. And I know that we can go on and on and on. Listen, I want to be able to tell people who are going back on the replay or they're just listening to the audio. So, Afua, if you don't mind reading off for us the link that they can go to for your ebook.
Yeah, you guys can go to payhip.com. So I'm sorry that it comes up like this, but payhip.com/B/1X4T. But for sure, if you want to schedule a free consultation with me for your business credit or just to help you go through the foundations or help you, just understand what you need to do, where you need to go next, you can schedule with me at my scheduler, which is calendly.com/Afua, AFUA. And I can definitely get you the ebook in there. In fact, I'll go in and make sure that ebook is added when you go there, so you'll be able to see that website. But for sure, schedule with me there on my scheduler, and I'm happy to take great care of you.
And our ebook, is this a free ebook or a small investment in this ebook?
Yeah, it's $20. I believe it's $19.99. Okay. And it's downloadable. You'll be able to download it and have it and walk through each step.
So basically, the ebook, for those who are listening or want to understand, the ebook is basically a DIY on how to build your business, and she is giving you 100% of everything that you need. I am adamant about telling people, you've watched or listened to the show where we talk about paying and investing in yourself, whether it's coaching or mentorship, etc. There are some things that we can do ourselves. But there's probably some stuff that we probably shouldn't try to do ourselves. At least consult someone to get the help. And so you're actually able to schedule a consultation to determine what is the next best actions for you. But either way, you have two options. You can grab that ebook for $19.99, walks you through everything she shared with you today, or you can schedule a consultation and figure out what is the best method of operation for you to get your business credit going. Listen, we're already coming to a wrap. Time always flies when we are having fun. Yeah. I believe that you have given them all of the knowledge that you wanted to put out there, but I would like to say this. If there's anything else that you would like to leave, you just left an amazing tip about that SBA and where they're pulling it from. Are there any other quick tips that you would like to leave for the audience as we come to a close here soon?
I think I'm just going to stay true to how God created me, which is as an encourager. So sis, I know you can relate to that. And so what I will say to anybody embarking on entrepreneurship, and you guys have probably heard this before, but how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. This is going to be, a lot of us, we don't have a blueprint. A lot of us are first-time entrepreneurs in our family. We haven't had someone point out the way, which is why I'm passionate about these steps and helping you understand. And I'm just as passionate about encouraging you. So don't be overwhelmed about this large project. Don't be overwhelmed about what you don't know. As you begin to take steps, more resources and tools will become available. Start with the resources and tools that you have available right now, which is this podcast, this free game, this free information. Keep following, keep checking in, keep going through what you need to do, keep getting the information however you need to get it until more resources become available. But do take action. Don't sit still. Do take action and do what you need to do. There are resources here. Plenty of us are here to help, to inspire, to encourage, and to serve.
Well, thank you so very much for being on today's show. If you don't mind hanging out for me in the backstage, I'm going to go ahead and wrap. And honey, we got to catch up about all of this amazing information, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you again.
You're welcome. Thank you. Listen, guys, was that not absolutely incredible or not? If you did not know about your credit, your business credit, you absolutely know now, and there's so much more information out there for you to learn. This is where you find value. We talk to entrepreneurs. There was a gentleman on a different podcast that is on the network who was featured on Shark Tank, right? Created a business, millions of dollars. And he started from a place where he had absolutely no knowledge of, but he Googled and he called up people and he used free information that he obtained to be able to take his business and his life to the next level. Here's a podcast for you where people are coming to you, telling you exactly how they started your businesses, encouraging you in your life so that you can go out and do exactly that. Tap in, tune in, not just to this podcast, but all of them that are streaming a part of the Droppin Knowledge Network, because we are coming with back-to-back episodes of jam-packed information that you are guaranteed to find value in. My mind is absolutely blown. Listen, she had me stumbling over my words because I was trying to write and talk at the same time because I need to go get that business credit together. Let's not continue to be left behind. You have no excuses. The knowledge is all out here everywhere for you for free. You already know what's coming next. Listen, if you do not know where to tune into, how to stay in the loop, if you're not already doing so, make sure you take advantage. Right now, of course, you can find me on my Facebook, Shronda McDaniel, your lovely, amazing, awesome host, all of those words, right? You can find the Droppin Knowledge Network on Facebook, Dropping without a G at the end, Knowledge Network. We are also on YouTube, Droppin Knowledge Network. A website is coming as well. And so there are 1,000,001 places where you can literally go to get this free information, a free value. And then we are everywhere that you can find podcast streaming. All you need to do is look up the amazing, wonderful, Empowered with Shronda, and there you will find me. Guys, thank you for joining on tonight. Be sure to share this information with someone that you know so we are all growing together. You all stay safe, stay blessed. See you next week, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central.